Well, ladies and gentlemen, well, we have some unfortunate news here, to where Biden seems to be making a laughingstock of everything, and apparently a laughingstock of a woman that had lost her two sons to fentanyl. Now, after the video clip and all that, I will explain to what the left are talked about in 2020 and what have you, but it has to be addressed. All right, guys, take a look at this clip.
Recently saying that a mom, a poor mother who lost two kids to fentanyl, that I killed her sons. Well, the interesting thing is that fentanyl they took came during the last administration.
Yeah, there you have it. Biden laughing at a woman's, at a mom's, essentially the death of her two sons to fentanyl, which seems to be a massive problem. Now, I think that a lot of you are going to come out and to complain about the 2020 thing and how like all this under the Trump administration, and I'll address that as soon as you guys watch this clip, so that way you kind of get into your feelings, since you guys like to operate with that more rather than wanting to live off of reality. Take a look.
Die every year? And nothing's being done. Not enough is being done. Numbers are going up, not down. And you talk about children being taken away from their parents. My children were taken away from me. 100,000 Americans every year are having their children, 200,000 because it's both parents, right? Are having their children taken away from them. This should not be politicized. It's not about race. Fentanyl doesn't care about race.
Yes, so that's what's going on. And obviously she did not get any Biden or anybody particular that lost this. She was just grieving and complaining about on how there's a huge massive fentanyl problem, which is technically what we should be doing, rather than, trying to laugh at somebody or try to say, oh, it was under the Trump administration. Let me put this into perspective with you guys. Trump realized that there was a massive fentanyl problem. He was trying to set up border walls and stuff like that and get things underway to actually be able to stop this type of problem. Unfortunately, even though that he was trying to do this, he was facing a lot of opposition against you guys. Do you know what you guys were voting for? What you guys were advocating for? Open borders. The open borders was allowing fentanyl to run through our country and be given to these kids. Huh. Oh, it's your fault. Oh. Now do you realize your stupidity? You fucking idiots. Here's the thing. You guys want to claim you're being moral and all great, and then you're going to blame the Trump administration and stuff like that. No, it's like he was actively trying to do something. You can't just do something in a matter of time, and when you have faced opposition. When you are having opposition and you're trying to get things done, along with many other things, by the way, it takes time, and he was trying to do that. Biden has done none of this, by the way. He has done absolutely fuck all to fix any of the problems with fentanyl. If anything, he's made it significantly worse in every regard. And when you find out that it's in the 2020, you're like, oh, well, it was under the Trump administration. It's his fault. Really? It's his fault? When he was trying to stop the problem? That's like blaming a firefighter for trying to stop a fire, and then somebody ends up dying when he gets over there. No, it's not his fault. He's trying to stop the fire and trying to get people in there to save the person. Unfortunately, a person died in the process. Or the fact that somebody tries to save somebody else on the street and they end up dying even though they tried. It's not their fault. They tried. That's what Trump was doing. Enough with your bullshit and whatever else you want to push for, because this is Biden's fault, and he has the gall, the audacity to laugh at this woman. That's the thing here. Now, let's add another great thing to you guys that we want to add that seems to really be escaping your minds. Alright? So we have this where, this bigger thing, right? Suspect in rape. Murder of 20-year-old autistic woman was a legal border crosser. Alleged MS-13 gang member released by the Biden administration into the U.S. despite arrest before killing. Oh, why do you think I'm using a little bit of my emotion, a little bit of my anger? It's because you guys have absolutely been trying to attack Trump constantly over stuff like this. But then, when we point stuff out like this to you all, you don't have, what do you have to say for it? This woman, this autistic girl, by the way, was raped and killed because Biden allowed this person to go through. Because he has open borders, that things that you guys wanted, that you guys voted for. You got what you wanted, and now to make it not seem like, oh, Trump is this awful person, you go and say this. But you have evidence here that this is all Biden's. This is all Biden's fault here. Go fuck yourselves. I am tired of playing nice. I am tired of playing games. I am no longer be playing with you people when you want to actively go say it's somebody else's fault when they are actively trying to fix the problem, and then you have this man that actively goes out and does the exact opposite what the other person does, and it's significantly worse, and you want to blame the upper opposition. No. Screw you. This is what happens. We have this as well from the mother. How dare you? Mother who lost both sons to fentanyl poisoning says she's shocked at despicable Biden for laughing at the claim his policies are to blame for their deaths and demands an apology. Yes, and instead of Biden taking a responsibility or probably, maybe not the responsibility of the 2020, alright? Maybe not take responsibility for that because that isn't necessarily Biden's fault for that case. Yeah, we could put some blame onto Trump. Yes, some blame. Yes, I agree. But to switch it around and put it all on Trump and completely disregard the massive amount of fentanyl that is happening today, right now, I'm sorry. You're an evil, evil, evil man. You have ignored the American people. You have sent money to other countries that when there was a people in the derailment that were suffering, and you have absolutely showed absolute disregard, any empathy, or willing to help anyone whatsoever over this woman losing her kids to fentanyl. You laugh instead. You are an evil, despicable man. A mother who lost her two sons to fentanyl poison has reacted scornfully to Joe Biden, laughing off the claim that his policies might be to blame for their deaths, saying in a video message last night, "How dare you?" Rebecca Kathleen's sons Caleb and Kyler died in 2020 before Biden took office after taking what they thought were painkillers, but they were laced with fentanyl. Kessling, who lives in Michigan, testified before Congress earlier this week at a hearing on the escalating fentanyl crisis. Representative Major Taylor Greene suggested during the hearing that the boys would be alive if the government secured the border. I agree. And I think that Joe Biden needs to do that. And I think Trump was trying to do that, but again, as I said before many, many times in this video, Trump had opposition. They had people like you that wanted to oppose open borders, that wanted to have open borders, mind you. Interesting. Last night, Biden involved Kessling's story to poke fun at Green, telling an audience of chuckling Democrats at the House Democratic Caucus Issues Conference. The interesting thing is that the fentanyl law the boys took came during their last administration. Haha. Kessling, in a video posted online Wednesday night, reacted to his comments with fury. "This is how you speak about the death of my sons. Because a congresswoman misspoke. You mock the loss of my sons," she said. She also pointed to the rise of fentanyl deaths across the country since Biden took office, saying, "My children died about 6 months before he became president. There have been failed policies by many administrations for far too long, ever since there was a huge surge in drug deaths due to fentanyl. This has been a problem for a long time. But what about the 22% increase in fentanyl deaths since you became president? That represents tens of thousands of U.S. citizens who died under your watch. An increase in tens of thousands that represents double that number of the parents who are suffering." I agree. And this is insanity. You have become an evil, evil man. Well, you were always an evil man, but you are worse than we have feared. Now, for the last thing is, I'm going to show you guys this video, and a very brief of the video, and then we'll end it here.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Kiesling. I'm the mother of Caleb, forever 20, and Kyler, forever 18, who lost their lives to fentanyl poisoning on July 29th, 2020, along with 17-year-old Sophia Harris. I just testified yesterday before Congress about the deaths of my two sons to fentanyl poisoning at a hearing on the issues at the southern border. I'm shocked to see the video today as President Biden talked about a congresswoman who misspoke when she said that my children's deaths are the cause of President Biden's policy failures. My children died about 6 months before he became president. And there have been failed policies from many administrations and from Congress for far too long.
And there you have it. There you have it. So she clarified, and even if Major Taylor Greene misspoke, it still shows that the Biden's policies are destroying people, killing lives, and obviously apparently people are getting raped. So there's a whole bunch of other issues that you guys seem to be failing to realize. And you don't seem to be doing any type of research at all on some of the people that are on the ground and experiencing all this BS that's going on. I suggest you educate yourselves. Because at this point in time, I'm tired of it. We need to fix this problem. Biden needs to do something. And if he's going to refuse to do it, then God help every single American that's going to constantly die to fentanyl because of open borders. And unfortunately, the people that voted for Biden get what they deserve.